everyone, today I'm reviewing the new Marvel Legends Deluxe Thanos figure based on the Infinity Gauntlet. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, we've gotten a ton of them released by Hasbro over the past 5 years. Do we really need another? Welcome to a Nerdzoic action figure review. I'm really excited for this one. I've been tracking him on the little shop app until he has been delivered today, and I'm so pumped that he's finally been delivered because I've just been dying to get him. I love the comic book version of Thanos. This is currently up for pre-order on Entertainment Earth. I'll put a link down in the description. Make sure you stick around to the very end of the video, because I will, as always, give my official star rating to go along with this figure. This was revealed back in November, along with the Stiltman Build-A-Figure wave. This is based on the original Infinity Gauntlet story arc, which we are on a 30th anniversary year, believe it or not. This ran in July of 91 to September of 91, so it's been 30 years. Man, I feel old. Probably because I am old. Despite the fact that this is the most iconic version of Thanos there is, we have never gotten a Infinity Gauntlet style Thanos in Marvel Legends, which seems kind of hard to believe. We have gotten a version of this from Marvel Select, and that's what most people use as the stand-in for this in their Marvel collection. But I do think this is a better quality version, as that Marvel Select figure, believe it or not, is 15 years old at this point. So here he is in his packaging. I already busted him out, so I have to use a stock image. But as you can see, he displays really, really nice in the packaging. You can see both of his sets of alternate hands, which I'll show you, of course, during the review. In my opinion, if you are a mint on-card collector, this is by far the best Thanos you can have. Okay, maybe not by far, because that Walmart Thanos from 2 years ago, that one's pretty good too. It's a 4.5-star figure in my mind as far as mint on card goes, so if you are going to have it sit somewhere and you just want this to sit in the package, if that's your thing, this is the Thanos to have, my opinion. Looking at the rest of the packaging, right up here on the front, we have the OG Infinity Gauntlet logo. Thanos down here, a little bit of legal stuff, an age range. We have the same picture on both sides. It is a awesome picture. It is really great. Like, Thanos has his mouth open, looking all evil. The gems are shining, his eyes are shining, and it's got that galaxy purple backdrop that is going to be a theme throughout the packaging. On the top, we have the gems, yet again, looking good, looking cool. And then on the bottom, more legal stuff. All right, so Thanos is on his throne next to his lovely lady, Lady Death. Doesn't look that lovely to me, but hey, whatever floats your boat. He's got his gauntlet on. Again, the gems are shining. We got the purple backdrop going in the background. We have the bio here. Now, as far as the hands go, we actually only have one right hand, put it on the right side, and 3 left hands. So the right hand is a fist. Left hand, we have the fist again. Then we get into the cool stuff. First, we have the snap. But it also comes with this creepy looking hand, where it looks like he's doing the Undertaker come hither look. Where's my urn? Rest in peace. In addition to the hands, we also have an extra head that they refer to as an Easter egg during the reveal. This is from the 2016 Thanos Wins storyline, which I just read a couple of days ago in preparation for this review. And there you be, a little bit of King Thanos action going on there. I'm not a fan of this, I'm not going to lie. I love that they threw in an extra head, but this is not the head I wanted, because this doesn't really make sense. The Thanos from 2016 in that comic arc, it's the more modern comic version of Thanos, very similar to the Build-A-Figure. And unfortunately, this doesn't really match. The yellows on the crown does not match that, so even though the heads fit, Lastly, in the box, we have this super cool cardboard throne. The art is done by an Anthony Petrie, and it's pretty cool. I love the illustration, but it's cardboard. I would have actually rather paid an extra $20 and gotten the throne. Zooming into the face here, this is where Thanos shines. Those chompers are... they're not just painted, they are literally molded on there, so they look fantastic. All the detail here, so the little wings of his eyebrow things, the ear things, I don't know what any of this is called. The gold piece up here, it's not just painted on, it's actually molded on there. So that looks really cool. His eyes have a lot of detail. There's a two-tone light blue in there. His upper body also looks good. He's got this rubber tunic thing. I don't know what else you call it, so we're going to call it a tunic. It's not molded onto there, but it's in there pretty darn good. And I'm not going to try to get it off, even though it looks like he's fully painted underneath. The details on his torso are painted on there. They're not molded on, but you can't tell. The muscles and the body proportions are all accurate. He's all muscly. The thing that really stands out, though, and it's not going to come across as well as I like on camera, is the paint job of the blue. Hasbro has this nasty habit of doing a single tone paint without any wash or shading and hoping that the sculpt of the figure will give it some depth. Well, they don't even take that risk here. He is got a light shade of blue on him to go along with the dark blue. And it's more prominent in some areas than others. Like you could see it here. I'm not sure, again, how it's going to show through. But you can see the light blue shading. You can see it here on the biceps for sure. Look how light his bicep is to the rest of the arm. The yellow, not as good. The yellow just looks artificial. It looks like a toy, which obviously it is. But I wish it had a little bit of darkness to it. If you take a look at the source material, it's a little bit darker there. It's not just like a perfectly clean yellow. The paint shade continues down his legs. That also looks really good all the way down. He's got these nice big old boots. He does have peg holes. And he's got this, okay, for lack of a better word, we're going to call it a skirt, this piece here. Now, if you look underneath, it actually pegs into a hole there, which is cool because you could push it up when you want to get him into a sitting pose, which I'll show you as we go through articulation. He has the cool little plastic diaper thing going on here. I don't know what else you call that. And overall, that about sums it up. Uh-oh, we got a QC issue on mine. Let's compare the likeness of the figure to how he looks in the source material. I would say that the sculpt and the proportions are dead on. I would say that all the little details are dead on. He's got the diaper, the belty thing, the tunicky thing. His face looks pretty accurate. We run into a tiny bit of a problem when it comes to the color, though. In the comic book, he is overall a bit lighter. So his purple face, slightly lighter. His blue, slightly lighter. The gold, slightly lighter. As far as size goes, Thanos measures in at 7.5 inches tall. He is 6'7", so he's actually a little bit too big and not quite in scale. He's off by almost a full inch, which is kind of surprising. But again, Marvel Legends are not perfect with the scale. It's not like a Mathx or a 1/12 collective. For anyone wondering how he compares to some of the previous Thanos figures we had, let's take a look. Here he is next to the 2018 MCU unarmored Thanos. And here he is next to the 2019 MCU Thanos with armor. And here he is next to the unarmored Thanos from the new Children of Thanos multi-pack that should be arriving at my house any day now. And here he is next to the 2017 comic book Thanos version Build-A-Figure. Last but not least, we have the 2018 Walmart comic book Thanos. Thanos' neck is on a double barbell. We have 360-degree rotation of the neck. He can do the curious dog pose to either side just fine. Backwards, he can look up because, you know, 6'7" dudes look up often, but he can't look down that much. That's it. You can combine it with the ab crunch to get a decent effect, kind of. His shoulder is on a swivel hinge, and it does have 360-degree rotation. No issues getting him in the Scott Hall pose, ready for a razor's edge. Similarly, no issues with a zombie pose. When you stick the hands in the air like you just don't care, he can't quite get them straight up because of his tunicky thing. He has bicep swivel like most Marvel Legends. He has a single jointed elbow, which kind of sucks because that's it, gang. Woo! Wrist is on a swivel hinge. He has ab crunch, allowing him to go back about there, forward, about there. Once we get this up, it gives us a little bit more room with the hips, but he is somewhat limited. That's about as high as we're getting that front kick. Even with the skirt on that thing, that's as high as we're getting his leg toward the front, and he can make it way further on Splitsville than my body. Side kick, decent. Double jointed knee, back to about there. No swivel on the calf, swivel rocker on the ankle. The ankle can go. As you might imagine with a figure this big, he stands really easily, even for someone as bad at this as me. Getting him into a decent looking sitting pose is not easy. From this angle, it looks okay as he sits on his Post-it the note dispenser throne, but if I turn it sideways, he's just kind of riding in that thing. Turning him sideways, it looks like me trying to get into a Chevy Cavalier. It just doesn't fit. There's a lot to like about this figure. I really like the paint job they did, the way they blended in the blue. I love the box. The display ability of this thing is amazing. And the face sculpt's really good too. But there are some things I don't like. Specifically, I really don't care to have that King Thanos head. Sure, it's nice to have, but it just doesn't make sense because he doesn't work with this particular incarnation of Thanos, and he doesn't really work even if you swap his head onto the actual correct body because it doesn't match. And I have some minor grumbles with his articulation. Particularly, I really wish his neck allowed him to look down farther. His hips were easier to make him sit, and his elbow could actually go more than the 110 or so degrees that it goes. In summary though, this is a must-buy for me, and it is by far the most definitive comic Thanos we've gotten in this price range. The official Thanos Nerdzoic grade is 3.5 stars. Thanks for watching, be cool, and stay nerdy.